All right, everybody, welcome back to the best channel on YouTube. What's going on? It's been a couple days since we uploaded. I just really haven't had too much to talk about. I've had a little bit, I wouldn't say burnout from the Euro, but just yeah, I don't know. Just a couple days out of the football world. I mean, I'm already fiending though. I really need the season to start. I can't wait to cover all this. I was talking about it on my stream the other day too. For those that watch my Twitch channel, there's probably viewers on here that don't even know what I'm talking about. But we are gonna probably watch 2 to 3 games a week in watch along format in the fall with the club level. So it's not gonna be as crazy as the Euro. We were doing like an insane amount of watch alongs for that, but. We're having a video today. We're going to talk about Manchester United. They've now had a couple transfers into the club. Yeah, there's some interesting things to talk about with this team. So I kind of want to have an open discussion, just kind of discuss with everybody what we think is really realistic for this team next season. I would low-key say for last season's team, they overachieved in the way that I thought they were shocking with consistency. And for them to go through at the end of the season and get a trophy, not only did it save, the memes, but it saved Ten Hag's job, especially as they defeated Manchester City, which is crazy. And they played a really good game. The whole irony of the last game of the season, I know we're going back a little bit. Maybe there's some cobwebs on everybody's football's brain inside them, but the irony was everyone thought they kind of should have gone out against Coventry City. I mean, Coventry City scores that goal in the last minute, and it's offside, and they go to penalties and they win. And then Anthony's getting memed for celebrating like a little child. But you know what? A win is a win. So we got a couple things coming out before we talk about anything. Ten Hag says former interim boss Ralph was absolutely right about Manchester United needing open heart surgery. A lot of people have been saying that. So Ten Hag also says this has to be Ahmed Diallo's year. We have to see Ahmad in a different way. He is not inexperienced anymore. I trust him. I look, this is something that I have been feeling. Like, I think this is actually going to be his breakout year. He had that loan for a while. He was hyped up originally. And you know what? At the end of the season, I thought he contributed for them. I personally like him playing over Anthony. So we'll see how they line up. So look, this is the projected potential lineup. Now, there's a couple things to talk about with this team. And I want you guys to look at this team and genuinely tell me what you think of this team. What you guys need to understand with these projected lineups and everything, right? Number one, they're not entirely correct. Number two, there's going to be injuries. And number three, a lot of the teams that do well in the league play is because of depth, right? Having depth is very important. I just personally feel United this season have added to the depth of their team. That's what I personally feel. We thought Casemiro was going to get sold. I don't know what happened with that. He's still there right now. It may still happen. Ugarte looks like it's going to happen. He was very good. Went to PSG. We haven't really heard much since then. Looks like that is going to happen. Obviously, Kobe Mino gaining so much experience at a young age. Just played in a Euro final. I was really impressed with Kobe. I mean, I know he didn't have the best final, but I thought Mino overall was probably a top 3, top 4 player on that England squad this year. I thought he was really, really good. I thought he really helped them. I thought they had this problem with that part of the midfield, and he just came in and resolved it at that age. Garnacho's still developing. I think Garnacho is good. I don't think Garnacho is going to be the next, who would we even say? I don't know. But I think Garnacho is good. Now, Sancho is back from loan, I believe. He's back. That didn't go through. We saw pictures of him in training the other day. Rashford, we'll see what happens with him. There's a part of me, my FM series that I did with United where I sold Rashford and Anthony, and I feel like maybe it would be time, but let's see how Rashford does this season. Rashford needs to really find in his career some sort of consistency. Every single person will tell you when he's playing his game, he's one of the best. Seriously, he's one of the best in the league. When he's not, and when he's not in that groove, he's a liability for sure. Now, depth-wise, I just want to discuss this real quick. The team this year is already more deep than last year's team. We look at this lineup. I think Onana did so well. He had such harsh criticism last season. Started playing amazing towards the end of the year, right? Really carried them a lot. Luke Shaw, is this guy going to stay healthy? Malacia is another question mark. They've got him at left back. We don't really know what's going on with him. When he has played, I thought he's been really good. But let's not count on him playing. We don't know yet. Luke Shaw, if he is healthy, is quality. I mean, we even saw the difference of what he did for England just going into that team. Okay, Lisandro Martinez was unbelievable. One of the best center backs in Copa America with Romero. At some point, I know Spurs have Romero. There needs to be one of these two teams that figures out how to get them to play together. They're unbelievable together. They just signed Euro, who a lot of people are really hyped up about. The interesting part about the center back position is what's going to happen with Harry Maguire. Because I actually feel like Harry Maguire has been similar, not to Onana in the way that they're playing the same amount, but that like they both had these phases in their career they were getting memed and hated, and they've both responded and played really well. I thought Harry Maguire has been playing really well since he played. Obviously, they have McTominay in the midfield as well. Scotty played really well towards the end of the season. He's definitely one of those where I don't know if Ugarte is going to go right in and start. McTominay, you'd probably expect to still be in there with the way he played at the end of the season. Some fans don't like him. Some fans like him. At the end of the day, he's a player you want on your team. He tries hard. He's a good goal scorer. He has a really good IQ in the attack. So it's about how do they use him properly. We've got to see Bruno be a little bit more attacking. I want to see Bruno more in the final third rather than just deeper in the midfield. Dalot's still in the team. And then, yeah, in terms of the depth up top, they signed Xerxes, who, look, I've always been a fan of watching Bayern Munich. I watched Xerxes a ton when he was way more of a raw talent before he went on all these loans. I think he went to Parma, then I think he went to somewhere else maybe, and then he went to Bologna, who did really well in the Serie A last year. And Bologna overall had a lot of players playing really well at the Euros. So Xerxes had a really good season in the Serie A, which, look, we're learning based on what we've seen in the tournaments that, to be honest, most of the teams that played really well had players from Serie A and Bundesliga. A lot of those teams that were like upset teams playing with the best teams had players from those two leagues. Those two leagues really performed well, I felt like, internationally this summer. So he's coming from a really good league. I think Euro is one of those where he was going to be on a free next season. So they felt like they really wanted to get another center back. I think they definitely did need that, though, because Casemiro at the end of the season was playing center back. It was just a mess. They also had a million injuries. And then, yeah, up top, obviously, you've got Højlund and Xerxes. I think Xerxes is great. You just got to hope that him and Højlund don't get too, there's not too much going on with any beef or drama. They're about the same age. They're both competing for that starting spot. You want a healthy competition with those two. They're not going to run a two-striker formation, so one of them will play. But they definitely needed another striker. I was suggesting that they should bring somebody in that's a bit older with Højlund, just for experience, because there's some games Højlund doesn't look crazy. But then again, Højlund, the last couple games, of the season, came right off the bench and scored. So, yeah, and then you got Garnacho, Rashford, you got Diallo, and you got Sancho. We're probably missing someone else. But, look, also, there's a lot of rumors that they may get De Ligt. I saw something the other day saying 89% De Ligt. I'll tell you this. If you're a Manchester United fan and you want to really do some serious damage, and what I mean by that, get back into the Champions League, compete for that third, fourth, second place spot. I don't think this team is a league-winning team. Look, this team right here, if they put it together and they played really well, what's the peak of what this team could do? I think third place. I think third place would be the peak of what this team could do. Look, they have showed us, though, and the reason why, look, you shouldn't take that as an insult. They just beat City in a final. These guys can play with anyone. It's about, is the mentality going to be right? Are they going to be present in that game? Are they going to have depth? Are they going to be able to tactically adjust in games? I felt like a big deal with United towards the end of the season last year was that they actually just didn't even have the player base to adjust accordingly. I mean, they finished the season, guys, playing Bruno and McTominay at striker. Do you know how impressive it is? They got 8th place in the Prem and still won a trophy. It's crazy. Arsenal didn't do that last season. So, look, this is a team that I think stock on this team and Chelsea is up next season. I think in the league they will finish way higher than 8th. I think 5th, 4th sounds good to me. That's what I expect to see from them. I want to see Ten Hag succeed. I think this United project is a very large uphill battle. You do have the money to spend, but at the same time, a lot of pressure. We've seen that United have been one of the heaviest shirts to wear in football. We've seen so many players go there and not perform. So we got to hope some of these signings do well. I'm just saying this. I think De Ligt with Martinez would be unbelievable. If they got those two at center back, holy, I really like that. And at that point, Ten Hag's getting all the Ajax guys here, which is crazy to see how many players, in this club would have played. What's going to happen with Anthony, because he's a part of that where he could play on the wing. I don't know. I don't see it with Anthony. I don't see it. So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, they have club friendlies. The first Premier League game, they start against Fulham. They start against Brighton, and then they go to Liverpool. I like that schedule because I think they start off a little easier. I mean, no game is easy, but they don't have this City, Arsenal, Liverpool to start. So they can ease into the first couple games, get some confidence. And, look, what do you guys think, man? I mean, Ten Hag, 58 goals for, 43 against, 75 points with third place. And then last season, obviously, 8th place is their lowest finish. I mean, it wouldn't even be since 2005. They got 7th in the 13-14 season. Look, they got close, right? Second with Mourinho, 28 against only, which is crazy. One of the best defensive seasons ever. But last season, they conceded 58 and 57-4. Look, I think the future with this team is going to be bright. I think they just got a lot of squad depth that they really did need. So I'm feeling very optimistic overall about the future of this team. They're going to have to go out there, develop the young players, and have the older players really lead these guys. It's going to be interesting to see. As I said, Malacia has been injured forever. How could I forget Wan-Bissaka as well? I mean, obviously that's like disrespectful to not even mention that with Dallo. That's great. They have the depth there. We got to see Luke Shaw stay healthy. I mean, yeah, you look at it, you probably need to sign another left back. But if Malacia is healthy, that's a crazy difference. You still have Mount off the bench. I think you got Hannibal back from loan. Garnacho there, obviously. Sancho's still there. Pellistri is also back from loan. He's, I'll tell you this, Pellistri as well. Let's not sleep on him as well. I really stock for Diallo this season. I'm thinking up. This guy's getting minutes for the Uruguay national team. Okay, I think Uruguay is the top 5 team in the world right now. Seriously, if you want to go over national teams with who's the best, I would have Uruguay, Colombia, Argentina in there, and I'd probably have Spain and probably have like Spain, England, Germany, France in that group. So whatever that group is, that's probably what I would have. And he's getting major minutes for them, so he's a serious player too. Look, the players that I feel like can go out there from their club, go on loan, perform anywhere, those are the players you want playing. So I want to see him getting some minutes as well this season. I think he could be a huge piece for them. The bottom line is what United achieved last season with the injuries they had and everything going on was very impressive. So I think this season we will see them qualify for Champions League. I think fourth feels good. That feels right. What do you guys think? What do you think of United this season? Let me know in the comments down below. We're kind of do a couple reviews of teams going forward, previewing teams into the next season. Obviously, some signings will happen. I love the De Ligt signing. I hope they sign him. I think De Ligt is one of the craziest center backs out there in the world. So I don't know if it's going to happen, if it's official yet, but I'd love to see that. I know they just got Euro, but they should sign De Ligt. I really like that signing. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, we'll see you in another video soon. Peace.